Welcome everybody to the Redzone report right here on the built-in Buffalo YouTube network, also Facebook and X. Let's not forget about those. But today we celebrate the final game played in the old Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. Buffalo Bills backups went out and throttled the New York Jets in our last game in that stadium in our beautiful red helmets. So let's talk about it. Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, Izzy. This is the Red Zone Report Live. This is Built-in Buffalo's post-game show. Jets at Bills, Highmark Stadium, final game, red helmets. Let's go, right? So the Buffalo Bills played today at 4:25 p.m. That was the start to our final game in our beloved stadium. Uh, Granted, we are all happy that we have a new one coming. It's not, yeah, I hate crooked lines. Um, Final game in our beautiful old stadium that was erected. I think it was 1973, replacing the old rock pile, and we have new Highmark Stadium that we'll be playing in. We're likely not going to see a playoff game in the old Highmark Stadium because we're the sixth seed. So unless we beat the Jaguars, the Chargers then go and beat the Patriots, and then the Chargers beat the Broncos in Denver, and then we beat the winner of Houston and Pittsburgh. It's not happening, right? We have to get to the AFC Championship game for that to happen, and the Chargers have to get to the AFC Championship game. That would be crazy. That would be exciting, but I think it's pretty safe to say that they can go ahead and just start the demolition now. Sad to say, but you get some nostalgia. I've been in that stadium a few times. Um, it'll be missed, but same time, very happy to get a new stadium. Very happy to lock the Bills into Buffalo for another 30 years. So let's go Bills, baby. Let's go Bills. I see the comments. Sandra L. King, here as always. Much love, Sandra. Thank you for being here. My brother, Marshall Manedo. Love you, bro. Hope Maxwell is okay. You and me both, bro, because we're going to need him. Trey White's been playing really good here lately. So thank God we have him, right? And it'd be so much better if we also had Dorian Strong, who his injury stuff has not been looking good. Hopefully in time he does heal up and can come back, but he might be out next year too, which is crazy, but it is what it is. Miss Nancy Nelson Sykes. I almost got tongue tied there. Miss Nancy, thank you for being here as always, supporting Built in Buffalo. Again, that's our president's mama. So Built in Buffalo's mama, so to speak. See, although this game didn't matter, I'm happy we got the W. So it did matter for seeding. So seeding wise, this game puts us in the 6th seed against the Jacksonville Jaguars instead of the 7th seed against the Patriots, which I might rather want to play the Patriots, but I don't really care, right? We beat the Patriots in New England already once. They beat us here. The rubber match would be pretty fun, but I don't see it happening. It's not happening unless the Patriots win and then we win and the Chargers win. I'm just gonna back this thing up. That's good on yours already. There it is. Okay. Now we're in place. Try a new configuration with the camera so it's closer to my face. But it did matter for the seating because the Chargers obviously went out there and laid down. Trey Lance played that game. They didn't care what seed they were, and I guess the Bills didn't either. But they were playing the Broncos, so if they really cared, they would have started their guys. But they wanted to be healthy for the playoffs, as did the Buffalo Bills. You know, James Cook saw a carry maybe. The Bills did what they did to protect their main guys. Most of the offensive line was. Hang on. Jeez Louise. There we go. Most of the offensive line didn't start. Cedric Fangranger was at center. Tyler Grable started at right tackle. He ended up coming out of the game, and Spencer Brown taking his place. Dion didn't start. The only starter on the offensive line that started today was Big Osiris Torrance. So, there's that. GI Bills, let's go. Oh, go Bills. I know, bro. Give my nephew a big hug and a kiss for me. Tell him I love him. Parker Washington been lights out for Jacksonville. That's my guy. Parker Washington's been pretty good. He's been pretty good. But our secondary is also really good, so we'll see what happens there. It'll be their high-flying offensive aerial assault versus our defensive backfield, basically. And against the run, here lately, the Bills have been outstanding. When we shut down Saquon Barkley, the Jets didn't do a damn thing on the ground today, so there we go. Trey can't run with Parker. It's not about running with Parker. He'll have help, safety help, so it's not really about that. We'll see what happens there. It is what it is. See, Max tweaked his ankle. All right, so they'll hit the cold tub, Max. Wrap that thing up. See, a nice way to say goodbye to the Ralph. Indeed. See, Jack's kicker knocked one from 67 today with 5 yards to spare. Damn. That dude's got a leg on him. See, we have no kicker. We don't have a kicker. They'll find someone, I guess. My guess is Younghoe Koo, maybe. He's not a very good kicker, but I think he'd be better than Badgley, personally. See, Jags #1 run defense in the NFL. That's fine. Matt Prater hurt his quad again, so Mitch Wisnowski did the kickoffs. Yep. Man, we never play well down there. Got to stop being so pessimistic. I'm not pessimistic at all. See, let's hope it doesn't come back to a kick or come down to a kick. Yep. Hey, you put the ball in the end zone, you ain't got to worry about that. But let's go over the game, guys. Let's go over the game. So today the Bills played the Jets. We beat them 35-8. Mitchell Trubisky was our quarterback today. Josh Allen took one snap and started. And Mitchell Trubisky was 22 of 29 for 259, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, passer rating of 142.1 against the Jets starters. Our backup quarterback with a backup offensive line in there with backup running backs, and Khalil Shakir didn't play. Brandon Cooks didn't play. He went out there and he lit them on fire. Brady Cook for the New York Jets, 11 of 12, 22, 50% on the day. 60 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked once for 7 yards. Passer rating was 71.4. Holy shoot. That's our backup defense. Joe Andreessen started today. Matt Milano didn't play the game. Terrell Bernard didn't play. Shaq Thompson didn't play. This was all backups on the line and in the secondary. Rousseau didn't play. Bosa didn't play. The defensive tackles, they played. But I don't know what our rotation is really like when it comes to starters. I didn't see Deion Walker out there, so I guess that he's prioritized. I didn't see him out there. I saw Ogunjobi, Fedarian Mathis. I saw Ogunjobi, Mathis, Sanders. I saw Jordan Phillips out there. It was a skeleton crew. Now, running backs. Khalil Herbert for the Jets. 12 carries, 42 yards, no tutties, 3.5 a carry. Kane Nwangwu, yeah, 7 carries, 18 yards, 2.6 per carry. Brady Cook 3 carries for 7. That's the quarterback. And then Arian Smith 1. I believe it was an end around for 2 yards. So not a lot of rushing production for them either. They actually had more rushing yards than passing yards. They had 60 passing yards, minus the sack for 7 yards, 53 passing yards, 69 yards on the ground. It was a very, very horrific game. If you're a Jets fan, they probably shut the TV off immediately. Uh, yeah. On the Bills' offensive side, Keon Coleman was our leading receiver. 2 catches on 4 targets for 49 yards. No touchdowns, but he did have a 2-point conversion. Dalton Kincaid, 3 catches for 48 yards, no touchdowns. He was only targeted 3 times, and he caught all 3 balls. Long was 26 yards. Gabe Davis, 5 catches for 41, a touchdown. And that was on 7 targets. Kaliki Latu, 3 targets, 3 receptions, 31 yards. Dawson Knox, 2 targets, 2 receptions, 24 yards and a touchdown. Ray Davis, 2 targets, 2 receptions, 23 yards and a touchdown. Ty Johnson, 2 receptions, 20 yards and a touchdown on 2 targets. Joshua Palmer, 1 target, 1 catch, 1 yard. Jackson Hawes, 1 catch, 0 yards, 1 target. 259 yards for Trubisky. You know, he went off. I mean, we got to give him his props. You know, I'm actually happy to see him go out there and passing the ball in a game for the Buffalo Bills and doing well. He didn't do anything crazy. He didn't run around like a psychopath. He did once, I think, kind of go pretty far back with him. He did the magic thing and threw the ball away, which Josh Allen did not. Is what it is. On the Jets side, their leading receiver had 24 yards on 5 catches. John Mechie, 3 catches, 20 yards. Quentin Skinner, 1 catch, 10 yards. Khalil Herbert, 1 catch, 4 yards. Andrew Beck, 1 catch, 2 yards, and a touchdown. That's it. It was a rough day for the Jets. The Jets did a lot of tackling because they didn't do a lot of offensive plays. They just didn't have the ball long enough because they had 3 and outs on their first 3 drives. Bills were up 21-0 in the first half, then put up 2 more touchdowns in the second half, and then a garbage time touchdown for the Jets, and that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. Let's see. Seeing a lot of comments here. Ray Davis ran great. Let's see. Yep, Ray Davis ran great. John Robert, welcome back to the show. My man Robbie, Izzy, I didn't catch the game. I was out of town bowling. I shot 300. Hell yeah. Good job, Robbie. Christopher, back in the building. Hey, Izzy, go Bills. Indeed, go Bills. Robbie says the same. Hey, Izzy, go Bills. TJ Sanders balled. TJ Sanders did ball. He was wrecking shop in the backfield there. Now, hopefully he can do something like that in the playoffs, right? Because that's where it's going to count. This team needs to step the hell up in the playoffs. And we've had a lot of games where we've won, but one side of the ball kind of carried the team. We need for both sides of the ball to play physical, sound football. See, Buffalo Joe looking good. Yes, he did. He played outstanding. Deion Walker had an illness. Okay, I did not know. See, King Henry needs like 160 to beat Jimbo for the title, and it's possible, dude. It's King Henry. See, Ray Ray was running that rock. Yes, he was. He was running that rock. Latu was an angry run too. Yeah, I saw that. He like just gave that dude the shoulder. Take that shoulder. See, he won't get it. I'm with you here, Thomas. I hope not. I hope not, because my man James Cook has been cooking all year. He deserves the rushing title. But, you know, if Baltimore wants to win that game, they're going to give the ball to Henry. And if the Steelers want to win that game, they're going to stop them. So it is what it is. I don't think that Lamar Jackson is healed enough to where it's going to be his arm that wins in the game. It's going to have to be Henry's legs. What a game, indeed. Knox got the money. He got the bag, and so did Ty Johnson. He got his $250K. So hope you're right. I hope I'm right, too. See, I loved how the game planned to hit those incentives for players. Yeah, that was Trubisky. Trubisky, before the game, was asking everybody, hey, who's got incentives on the offense? And how can I help you get to your incentives? How many touchdowns do you need? How many yards do you need? How many plays do you need? They also had Trey White hit an incentive, I believe. He had to play 65% of the snaps for the season to get a bonus of, I think it was $1 million. And he was at 69% at one point in the game. And I think that he actually hit his incentive too. So Tre'Davious White got his money. See, Trubisky played really good. Bet that better than I expected. Yeah, very much so. Palmer's still getting one catch a game against scrubs. You know? What up, Izzy? Hey, how you doing, man? I don't know what to make of Palmer, dude. You know that Justin Timberlake meme? With the mannequin hands? See, Henry is 152. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening, but I'm hoping that he does not. I'm hoping that he gets 4 yards and is third. See, Knox, 1 million. You're missing a zero, boss. Henry can be stopped. He can be stopped. He can. It's just hard to do, but he can be stopped. See, surprise no looks Shavers away today. Me too, but I think that they might have some sort of plan for Shavers. You know, like I think they have a plan for him. I think that they think more of him than we do. See, Knox, Ty Johnson, and Trey owe Trubisky a steak dinner. Let's go. 3 different steak dinners too. They can't you don't go together, guys. Trey takes them, Knox takes them, and Ty Johnson takes them. See, TJ Sanders got his first sack. Yeah, and for a guy who was injured the first part of the year, for him to come back in this game and be at his actual position of defensive tackle and penetrate, get through his guys, and then get to the quarterback, hell yeah. Glad for him. Let's build on that. Tomahawk Wagyus. Ooh, you're thinking expensive, baby. Let's get it. So, yeah, we can beat the Jags. Allen plays different in the playoffs. He does. And he's lost to 3 different quarterbacks in the playoffs, right? He's lost to prime Deshaun Watson before the allegations. He's lost to Joe Burrow one time, and Josh did not play good that game. That was probably the only one I'd say that was really on Josh. And then Mahomes a bunch of times. Mahomes in the playoffs, Burrow in the playoffs. Deshaun Watson is barely in the NFL. So let's see what happens. Playoffs, Josh, is a dangerous animal. It's a dangerous man. We'll see what happens there. Now I'm going to cover the AFC a little bit, guys. So when we look at the games that were played today, some things shook our way, right? The Ravens and Steelers, they haven't played yet, but they'll be playing at 8:20. So the show might be over by then. Might not. The Browns beat the Bengals. That didn't do anything for us. Didn't matter. But big guy got his sack record. Myles Garrett got his sack record. The Vikings beat the Packers. Really didn't do anything for anybody, but it is what it is. The Giants smashed the Cowboys 34-17, ruining their shot at the first overall pick or even the second. The Jaguars demolished the Titans, and they injured Cam Ward in the process. Trevor Lawrence, 22 of 30, 255 and 3 touchdowns. Pretty good game. Parker Washington went off 5 catches, 87 yards and a tutty. Colts lost to the Texans. Colts, you could have helped us out a little bit more. Then we would have been playing Baltimore or Pittsburgh, 2 teams that we've already beat this year. And it is what it is. But playing Jacksonville, sometimes you got to go through the fire, and Jacksonville's on fire right now. So that's a team that we're going to have to, step it up on. The Lions beat the Bears. Bears still won that division, so they're the 2 seed still. The Broncos beat the brakes off the Chargers. So they got the 1 seed. If they would have lost, the Patriots would have got the 1 seed. But here we are. Broncos are the 1 seed. The Patriots will play the Chargers. The Bills will play the Jags. And then the Ravens or Steelers will play against the Texans. So basically the Texans are basically going to move to the second round of the playoffs fairly easily, in my opinion. Now, looking back again, Chiefs Raiders didn't matter. Rams Cardinals didn't matter. The Patriots smoked the Dolphins. Didn't matter. They were 2 seed either way. They weren't going to lose their spot, I don't believe. The Jags are 13-4. Maybe the Patriots would have slipped to the 3 spot, but still. Commanders, Eagles didn't really do anything for us. Commanders beat the Eagles, though, which is crazy, by the way. Buccaneers beat the Panthers yesterday, but because the Falcons won today, the Panthers still win the division, even though they have a tie record. That's crazy. Seahawks beat the Niners 13-3. That is this week in football. Who wins tonight? I got the Steelers winning tonight, guys. I got the Steelers winning tonight. Aaron Rodgers is not injured in any way, shape, or form. He is healthy. The Ravens' defense is kind of blasé to me. And Aaron Rodgers, if he's kept clean, can win with precision. And they have a solid run game with Warren. The Ravens are probably going to have to be one-dimensional in this game. I actually probably would think that Tyler Huntley would be better in this game for the Ravens just because of the injuries to Lamar. I'd give him the week, but if you lose and you didn't play Lamar and Lamar was available to play, like John Harbaugh's in a damned if you do, damned if you don't spot. Like if they play Lamar and they lose, well, you played him too early because Lamar's been hurt. If you don't play Lamar, he was available and you lose, then you didn't play Lamar, so that's why we lost. That's the problem. So sorry for the Ravens, but I think that the Steelers are going to beat them tonight. So are you worried about the Jags? I'm not worried about the Jags. No, because we're either going to beat them or we're going to lose, and it'll bother me, but it's not going to wreck my life. Especially knowing this season was kind of a down year for us. It was a down year for us. This was a down year for the Buffalo Bills, right? We're 12-5, and we expected to win a division. And usually at 12-5, you would win a division, but Patriots had the easiest schedule since 1999. That's not something to blame them for because they didn't choose their schedule. Their schedule was assigned to them, and it is what it is. But the fact does remain they had the easiest schedule in NFL history since 1999. Not in all of history, but since 99. So there's that. Yeah, Jags are probably the hottest team in the AFC. Yep. They went out to Denver and put a whooping on them a few weeks ago. Rather play the Broncos or the Pats. Well, if they're the toughest team and we beat them, then what? That's the way I'm looking at it. If they're the best team in the NFL or in the AFC, they're the hottest team in the AFC, and we go out there and we put that fire out, we then become the most feared team in the playoffs. So, got to go out there and beat them. Knox got 100,000. Okay, no, Trey White got $1 million. My bad. Trey White got $1 million. The O-line needs to protect him more. Dawkins wasn't in the game, only 2 penalties. I mean, say what you mean to say, Sandra. Say what you mean to say. I'm just saying. You said it. Kind of, but see, how do you feel about Jacksonville? They're a team that's beatable. They're not the 1 seed. They're the 3 seed for a reason. They did beat the 1 seed. They went into Denver and kicked their ass. And so whenever you go to the 1 seed's house and you beat the hell out of them in their building, but they're not the Bills. So we'll see what happens. I do like Sean Payton as a head coach. He's an offensive head coach, but his defensive coordinator, pretty damn good, Vance Joseph. He had nothing for Trevor Lawrence that day. They had too many weapons for the corners that Denver has. I mean, Patrick Surtain's the best in the league. You just don't throw his way. The Buffalo Bills corners are all fairly balanced. So he's probably going to take some shots at Benford, and I think Benford is going to shut down one side of the field, basically. Let's see, got to go beat the best to be the best. You damn right, bro. You're damn right. Do we need to fear the Jags? No. It's football. Come on. Our team is going to go into Jacksonville, play a game of football, try and beat them, and if they do, and let's say the Chargers lose to the Pats, well, that means that we would go to Denver. Bring it. Bring it. You know, I'm here for it. Bills defense has been playing their asses off lately. Hopefully it carries over to Jacksonville. I agree. They have been playing their asses off here recently. Our backups went in there today and played their asses off, let alone the starters. Yeah. Bro, back in the building. Fear no one. Yeah. No, if you think that the Buffalo Bills are going to Jacksonville scared, no, not a chance. Not a snowball's chance in hell. Now the Buffalo Bills going to Jacksonville scared. They don't have Josh Allen. They have Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is pretty damn good. We have Superman. We have the Winter Soldier. Granted, it's going to be in Florida, so this team is going to love the weather in Jacksonville next weekend, as long as it's not raining. My man Christopher reposted this stream. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. See, I feel a 2 INT game next week and a kick return for a TD. Mark my words. All right, bro. Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, Choppy. Because, yeah. If we get 2 INTs and Ray Davis runs one for a touchdown, damn right. Sandrell King, nope. We ain't never scared. Bone Crusher is going to be the theme this week. Now I've been asked, should we fear them? Hell no. Hell no. That's how you lose the game, honestly. If you're on the team, which we're not. Like as fans, you can fear them if you want to because you're not playing the game. But as players, you go out there fearless, right? There's nothing to fear. Go out there and kick their ass in their house. And then we go to the Denver Broncos and we kick their ass in their house. Right? And then whoever's left, go and kick their ass in their house. Make them defend their dirt against us. We're the invaders now. We're the hunters now. We've been the hunted for like 5 years. It's time to go hunt now. We are back to being the hunter. The Buffalo Bills are a dangerous team. Especially with a healthy Dalton Kincaid. You got a healthy Kincaid on this team, I ain't scared of any team out there. Not one. We got a healthy Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, and Jackson Hawes. You lean on your tight ends. There, you have 3 good tight ends. You have 1 tight end who's potentially excellent in Dalton Kincaid. You've got 1 who's very reliable in Dawson Knox, and you have a rookie who has shown to be really reliable with his hands in Jackson Hawes. Lean on them boys. Lean on your run game. And simplify the game a little bit for Josh Allen. Don't get freaking cute doing this crazy nonsense, right? Freaking, I forget who I was watching. I believe it was yesterday. Somebody did a freaking flea flicker in the rain. Like, I think it was the Panthers game. Yeah, the Panthers. Handed the ball off to freaking Rico Dowdle. He turned around and he went to flea flicker it back to Bryce Young. Fumbles the ball because he fell flat on his ass. I'm like, why would you call that play? Why would you call flea flicker there? Like, he's got to run into the hole, stop on wet grass, turn around, and toss his ball back to the court. He just slipped and like ate shit on the way down to the ground and then tried pushing the ball out anyway. He should have just hit the ground and been down. But he tried to get cute. Too much. See, people have to realize Allen plays different in the playoffs. We just have to wait and see when we play the Jags. Yeah, hopefully we play them on Sunday because I work Saturday. So that uniform coordination was beautiful today. Oh my god, the red helmets, and it was. I don't know if you guys remember the '90s, but they did show clips of the '90s helmets, right? And that red on the '90s helmets, I was not a huge fan of. It was too pinky. Like it was not red enough. It was like it's like when you go on the computer and you go to pick a color, and then you go to the thing and you can make it, whiter or darker, and they just like added a little bit too much brightness to it. I didn't like the '90s helmets like that. So when we got the white helmets, I like that much better. But the red they used today was beautiful. It's a gorgeous shade of red. See, what are your keys to the game versus the Jacksonville Jaguars? Keys to the game versus the Jacksonville Jaguars: be aggressive on defense. Right? We want to blitz them more than we usually do. We want to run a little bit more man against them, but too high safety more often than not. Run actual true quarters defense. And then on offense, you run big, right? So you have three tight ends out there. You put Alec Anderson out there, right? You run the ball and you put a hat on a hat, so James Cook can just follow the lanes and get to where he's got to go. I like the fact that we have the ability to do that, right? When we play the Steelers, what do? We put a hat on a hat and we let James cook, right? He just had to pick a hole, pick a lane, figure out where the linebackers were going, and then go the other way. And I think that game plan against the Jacksonville Jaguars is probably the best way to beat them. You keep Trevor Lawrence on the sideline so that way he doesn't get the chance to throw to his weapons, and you just eat the clock, and score as often as possible. That's going to be the key. And I think that the best way for the Bills to score is running the ball. Now, they do have the best run defense in the NFL, so maybe you'd run a couple of cutesy things here and there, end arounds. I'm not a big fan of, but something like that. You're going to run screens, don't run into wide receivers. Also, use Khalil Shakir to his maximum capacity. Get him going down the field. Right? He's not just a slot guy who runs bubble screens. He's a good route runner. Right? His average depth of target is less than 3 yards. Right? Then he catches the ball and he makes 5 people miss. Well, if you get him 15 yards on the field and he makes 2 people miss, that's a touchdown, baby. Get Khalil Shakir down the field. I'm not saying have him running go routes. He's not that fast. But you have him running, deep, zag routes, or have him running, some post corners, or some chair routes, some sluggos maybe. You can then use him to a better effect. We've done that in the past before. When we had our previous OC, when we played Pittsburgh in the playoffs, he was catching, drag routes. He was catching all kind of passes down the field, but they haven't not been using him to his maximum capacity. And I think that's a real mistake. But maybe, just maybe, they're saving some of that tape for the playoffs. Maybe. I could be wrong. They just want to put stuff out there. But if that was the case, then you're the wild card on your own volition because it caused you to lose this many games. But still. See, they should run a lot of 2 tight end, 2 running back sets. Should help get the pass game going against Jacksonville. I agree. See, dull. I don't know what you mean. I think you mean talk about the helmets still. The older '90s helmets the red didn't do it for me. The helmet design was nice, right? And today we designed them exactly as they were in the '90s. But the vibrance of the colors was just more pretty. And then that uniform, like the '90s uniform was nice, but it was the NFL's uniform at the time, which I believe was. Who made the '90s uniforms? Was it Puma? Or Adidas? Like it was because Reebok made the ones in the 2000s, the dark ones, and then I think Nike's making them now. But yeah, how do we keep the running back in there to get the ball back? I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you could clarify that question. I hope so. The helmet wasn't getting polished back then. That may be part of the problem. But I just think the red was still different. Champion. Wow. Champion was making the uniform back then. Holy champs. Champion. Wow. That's crazy. Jeez. How many different jersey companies have they used? They've used Champion. They've used Nike. They've used Reebok. They've used Puma. Man. The red helmets are fire. Hopefully they'll open the new stadium with them. Hopefully they get to go back to them because that red is awesome. That one's awesome, right? The 2000s red one was pretty cool too, but the navy uniform, I know a lot of people didn't like the navy uniform, and they give that uniform to the drought. I liked the navy uniform. The only thing I didn't like about it is that we kind of copied the Broncos of the time design with the whole. They had the orange sides with the dark blue, and ours were true navy with the red on the sides. And then our away uniform was similar to the Titans uniforms. Didn't like that either. Under Armour made uniforms for the NFL. I don't remember that, bro. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go because the other game's starting. We discussed our game, and I'll see you guys next week, Sunday after the game. If it's on Sunday, if it's not, then Saturday or Sunday at 7 during my normal time, and hopefully we're discussing a victory. So, guys, much love. You guys take care of yourselves. Do good, be good. God bless, and go Bills. Let's go Buffalo.